We're coming to you live from the Orion Safari Lodge, a place, very beautiful place in Rustenburg in the northwest province of South Africa. We are here to celebrate with the South African Democratic Teachers Union Northwest branch as they celebrate the Matric Excellence Awards. This is the fourth time they're doing it. They started in 2020. It is now 2024. Today is the 15th of March, 2024. And this is the period and time when we are celebrating with our colleagues, with our educators, with our principals who've been doing amazing work as educators, making sure that the class of 2023, grade 12, succeeds. I'm joined now on our little corner here at the Orion Safari Lodge by Mkhuseli Mafunda, who is the Provincial Education Convenor for the South African Teachers Democratic Union Northwest Province. Mr. Mafunda, good afternoon to you, sir, and thank you for dialoguing with us and for talking to us about this special occasion.
Thank you very much, sir. Good afternoon, and thanks so much for the opportunity granted.
You are the Provincial Education Convenor. What does that mean? What is the role of the Education Convenor in the province within SADTU?
Thank you very much. The role for the provincial for the education desk, in particular, our education portfolio in SADTU, is to come up and deal with a number of issues. Issues that relate to teacher development, issues that relate to curriculum delivery, issues that relate to examinations, assessment, all issues that basically ensure that there is development, but there's also progress and at the level of the classroom.
Yes.
Yes.
And when you assess it, when you look at the work that you're doing now in the province, and you're looking at where you are, what is your view? How do you feel you're doing as a province?
As SADTU or as a department?
As
a union.
As a union, the work you're doing, and its impact also on the province.
No, the work that we are doing, we really think that we are doing fairly well. But obviously, we'll never say we have arrived where we want to come up and arrive at. For example, we are here to come up and celebrate, the schools for the performance that they actually engaged into. We are here to also ensure that we acknowledge the good performance, excellence, and all the dedication that people across, not only in the schools, in fact, across the department. That is why you'll realize we even acknowledge the best performing local education offices. We are even acknowledging the best performing district. But over and above that, as we do this, we are acknowledging everybody within the sector, even that particular person who's a cleaner, that particular person who's in the garden, because by its very same nature, education encapsulates everyone. So we have, as a union, introduced this, which we are the only union, by the way, in the province, which does such awards. But it's not only these awards that we are basically doing, we are also engaging in other categories where we'll celebrate the individual performance of educators through what we call the National Teaching Awards. We do acknowledge those educators who would go beyond the province to come up and represent the department, but those who are members of SADTU. But we're not only going to doing that, we are saying that teachers must also be in a celebratory mood. And as they do that, that is why every last Friday of October, we would have what we refer to as a World Teachers' Day celebration, where we amass all the educators to come together and ensure that we are basically celebrating. But equally, we have also engaged in quite a number of activities as a union towards ensuring where we have been able to come up and influence that there's a lot of an effort that will assist the educators, that will relate to the issue of increasing the number of the departmental heads at schools. Those are issues that we have always been lobbying for as an organization. And obviously, we have begun to see some progress that seeks to ensure that we are actually able to come up and do that. Indeed, we have done very well, but we cannot say that we have arrived where we want to, and there's room for improvement each and every day. We can be able to come up and improve.
There's an interesting thing I want to pick up from your response, and it is the inclusivity of the work that you're doing. It seems to be a recurring theme with the other interviews that I've done. That we're not only looking at celebrating the teachers or the principals, but across the board on the school, the administrators, the cleaners, everybody that plays a role in making sure that the school becomes successful. Talk to us a bit about why is that important? Why is it important for the celebration or for the recognition to be as inclusive as possible?
2 reasons. One, education by its very nature encapsulates all society. So you must be able to come up and bring different sectors of society. So that is why. But secondly, within education itself, we are saying that a school itself is a community. And it being, in fact, it is a microcosm of society itself. And the school being a community, you are not going to have conducive teaching if ever you've got a yard that is very much dirty. And you need a general assistant to be able to come up and do that. You are not going to have teachers who are developed if you don't have the subject advisors, which are the people who are based in the offices who will actually be able to come up and assist them. You are not going to have learners who are concentrating in class if ever the people who come from the department who bring the food to assist in terms of ensuring that there's money given for them to be able to come up and eat. So all that we are saying is that inclusivity becomes very much important from that particular perspective, so that we must not take education and isolate it and make it an issue of teachers or an issue of principals. These results are not the results only of the politicians, nor are they results only of the principals, but these are the results as we give awards to the principals who are here. We are giving them in acknowledgement of the role that the teachers and everybody else at the level of the school has been able to come up and play. Therefore, education by its very nature needs all these arms to be able to come together, move in unison towards ensuring that there is proper curriculum delivery. Because at the end of the day, the core business of the Department of Education is to ensure that there is curriculum delivery. And curriculum delivery on its own needs to be supported by all those people and other stakeholders who I may not have mentioned, like your says, and other stakeholders who are playing an important role in education.
But in terms of your business as the union, your business is to make sure that you represent educators. Your union has one of the most resilient teachers. It just came out of a very draconic pandemic between 2020 and 2022 to a large extent, or parts of 2022. Many people have spoke about how after you have had a touch of this illness, it still remains. What is the mood like with the teachers now after the pandemic? Are we almost going back to normality? As a union, as the education convener, when you sense and look at the post pandemic era, have we managed to come to a place where we are again into, again, I don't know whether we'll ever be able to go back to where we were, but into a quote unquote a new normal?
It will be a dicey question for this reason, among others. Maybe I should also touch on your opening statements. Yes, indeed, the union, we are there to represent members because we are a labor organization. But not only that, we are a union that operates in a professional space. So we also have got a responsibility for teacher development, but also have got the responsibility of ensuring that our members are also being empowered. That is why this event that we're holding today will resonate well with what we refer to in SADTU, in the strategic plans of SADTU, the Vision 2030, with creating a learning nation, so that we are able to come up and do that. But coming to your question, look, it is very much difficult to be able to come up and assess. But the reality of the matter is that we still have got cohorts of learners who between 2020, maybe until 2022 to 2021, have actually been impacted upon by the pandemic of COVID. You will remember that in some instances there was also what we refer to as a trimming both of subjects and also of the curriculum. That on its own would actually say that there would be some backlogs that will be there, more especially in as far as learning is concerned. But I must also indicate that as a union, during the time of COVID, we did not just leave it like that. we through the efforts of the national office had psychosocial support, you know, which we were able to come up and do for the members of SADTU. Of course, we may not have been able to come up and reach out to everyone, but we were able to come up and do that because COVID did not only affect teachers in terms of curriculum, in that some of the teachers need to come up and deal with the backlogs of that particular time, but psychosocially they were also affected. Colleagues died, you know, we lost families, and there are still people who are still, you know, having, you know, matters arising, comorbidities that arise simply because of issues of COVID. We cannot really say that we have fully recovered, more especially when we speak in terms of the learning and teaching space, because currently these teachers who are at school today, they are also having to come up and deal with the backlogs that arose in 2020 and 2021 in particular.
Mkhuseli Mafunda, Provincial Education Convenor, SADTU Northwest Province. It's a pleasure to talk to you. Thank you for your time. I'm told that you also, these awards are, they are your baby. Congratulations on having such a successful event and on celebrating excellence in the way that you have.
No, thank you very much. They are my baby as a project manager, but these are a baby in the main of the Provincial Executive Committee and the over 18,000 members of SADTU in this province.
Absolutely, and thank you and congratulations. Well done on a well-executed event.
Thank
Thank you, sir.
Pleasure.